All right, here's how you do 3.02a. We are working with something called multiplying monomials by linear expression. And problem number one, they gave you a rectangle. The way you find the area of a rectangle, you multiply the length, which is what I'm pointing right now, times the width, which is what I'm pointing right now. And you're going to multiply them. Now here I'm multiplying a monomial, that's the 3x. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called the box method to help you figure out how do you multiply this, okay? So the 3x, I'm going to put it here on the side. And the 2.5x, I'm going to put it here in the first box. And the minus 3, I'm going to put it in the second box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 3x by the 2.5x. So you do this on the calculator, 3 times 2, okay? That will give you 7.5. And then x times x, when you're multiplying letters that are the same, you add the exponent. So because I'm repeating the x 2 times, I'm going to say x to the second power. Then I'm going to multiply now the 3x by the minus 3. And when I multiply that, 3 times negative 3, and again, you can do it in the calculator, you're going to get minus 9. And because this 3 doesn't have an x, okay, this minus 3 doesn't have an x, and this 3 does have an x, I will keep the x there. So the area of this rectangle is going to be 7.5 x squared minus 9x. Okay, what I did here with the box is called the box method, and it's how do you multiply a monomial, this is a monomial, by a linear expression. This up here is what we call a linear expression. Okay, and this is how you do it. Okay, you're going to be using all the laws of exponents and how do we multiply monomials from previous weeks. Okay, let's go to the next problem. So in problem number 2, you can see it here. I'm going to change the numbers. Let's say it's 7x times 4x plus 11. Okay. The 7x is a monomial, only one term. I'm going to put it right here on the side. And the 4x plus 11 is what I'm going to write on the top. So the 4x, okay, is what I'm going to put here. And the plus 11 is what I'm going to write here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 7x by the 4x. 7 times 4, use a calculator. That will be 28. And then x times x, because I'm repeating the x 2 times, I'm going to write x squared. Then I'm going to do the 7x. I'm going to now multiply by the plus 11. 7 times 11 is positive 77. And then because I have an x and the 11 doesn't have an x, I keep the x here. So what is the answer of this multiplication? 28x squared plus 77x. Okay, so you can see how I multiply a monomial by a linear expression using the box method. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's problem number 3. And again, I'm going to change the numbers. So I'm going to say 5x squared times 2x squared plus 10x to the third power. Okay, so what we have out here is called a monomial. That's what we write here on the side of the box method. What I'm going to highlight in yellow is the 2x squared is what I'm going to put on the top of the first box. And the plus 10x to the third power, so this, okay, is what I'm going to write in the second box. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, okay, let me change the color here. I'm going to multiply the 5x squared by the 2x squared. So you multiply the number with a number, so 5 times 2 is 10. And now you multiply the letters with the letters. So I'm multiplying the x's. I keep the x. And I'm going to add the exponent 2 and 2. So when you add them, you get 4. Okay? Now I'm going to do the next multiplication. So I'm going to change the color here. So I'm going to take the 5x squared. And I'm going to multiply by positive 10x to the third. So multiply number with number. So 5 times positive 10, that's positive 50. And x squared times x to the third. When you're multiplying letters that are the same, you keep the letter, you add the exponent. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So what will be my answer of this? 10x to the fourth power plus 50x to the fifth power. And that's how you do problem number 3. Problem number 4, same idea, but now we have decimal. So let's say I have here 2.4x times 3.5x plus 3x squared. So what is out here is the monomial. That's what we're going to write here on the side of the box. We're going to use the box method. Okay. Then let me change the color. The 3.5x is what you're going to write on top of the first box. And let me change the color. The plus 3x squared is what I'm going to write in the second box. And now I'm going to multiply, okay? So I'm going to multiply 2.4x times 3.5y. And what I do is use the calculator, guys. Okay, especially when you're working with decimals. So here's my calculator. I'm going to multiply 2.4 times 3.5. And you can see I got 8.4. That's what I'm going to write here, 8.4. And when I multiply the x by the x, because I'm repeating the x twice, I'm going to put x squared. See? And then I'm going to multiply the 2.4 with the 3x squared. So 2.4 times 3. So again, calculator, 2.4 times 3. You can see I get 7.2. That's what I'm going to put here, but I'm going to put a plus sign. 7.2. And when you multiply the x by the x cubed, this x, when you do not see an exponent, is 1. This x has exponent 2. So you add the exponent. So that will be x to the third. So what is my final answer for this multiplication? 8.4x squared plus 7.2x to the third power. And that's how you do problem number 4. Let's go with the last one. So problem number 5, we have this multiplication. We have fractions. I'm going to change the numbers. So 2/5 x squared times 7x plus 5/9. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this out here. That's the monomial. We're going to write it right here on the side, 2/5 x squared. Then you're going to take the 7x. That's why you're going to write on the top here, the first box. And then the plus 5/9. That's what you're going to write on the top of the second box. Now you're going to multiply, okay? So you're going to multiply here the 2/5 x squared times 7x. So you multiply the numbers with the numbers. So I'm going to use the calculator. Here is my calculator. Just put 2/5 times 7. And you can see I got a decimal, but no decimal. You're going to click the circle. So you get 14/5. That's what I'm going to put here. 14/5. And when you multiply the x squared by the x, this x here, you don't see an exponent, it's 1. And what do you do when you multiply letters that are the same? You keep the letter, you add the exponent. Now we're going to multiply the 2/5 x squared again, so this, by 5/9. So again, I'm going to go to the calculator, And I'm going to write again 2 over 5. I'm going to multiply that by 5 over 9. And when you multiply that, you get that long decimal, press the circle. Look what I got. 2 9. So I'm going to write plus 2 over 9. That's what I got in the calculator when I multiply. And 2/5 x squared. See, it has an x squared, but the 5 over 9 doesn't have any x. So we keep the same x squared. So what is my final answer for this multiplication? 14 over 5 x to the third power plus 2 over 9 x to the second power. And that's how you do this lesson.